everyone, and welcome to AMHQ Early. It is Monday, January 4th, 2016. I'm meteorologist Jen Carfagno. Now, if you're heading out today in the east, you're going to notice a big change. There is a chill in the air as you head back to work and school after your long week. Issues maybe over the weekend with more rain coming on in. That's one to watch for sure. Let's go coast to coast right now with Anna Rittis. Good morning,
Jen. So we have a good update on the roads in Missouri that we're going to talk about later on because things are improving there. But let's talk about the Midwest floods. Rivers.
For the updates, we want to go now and look at the West Coast, where we've got a couple of storms lined up. 3 actually this week to bring us some active weather. Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti has held a news conference yesterday telling residents to be prepared for these storms. People in southern part of the state are being asked to consider preparing sandbags for possible flooding and debris flow from recent burn areas. And rain from this first storm has now just begun. I saw a couple of minutes worth of rain already in the last hour. So let's take a look out there. Of course, skies look nice and dark and dreary. We've got a lot of clouds out here in the west. We are looking at, again, 3 systems to move on through. There's one scooting on through the southwest, 2 more lined up behind it, and we've got some pretty active times ahead with some big rain and snowmakers out there. So let's start with the first batch of what's coming in right now. You can see LA, we've got showers in the area. Up towards the Bay Area, we've got some rain. Las Vegas area showers, and then snow coming in through the southern Wasatch, and eventually that gets into the southern Rockies. The other piece of that is up here across the northwest. Now, we've had a little bit of everything in Portland, Oregon. We started off with about an inch or an inch and a half of snow, then a little freezing drizzle or freezing rain on top of that. There's still maybe some falling, and we'll watch closely around the Seattle area. We could also see some snowflakes mixed in with temperatures on the chillier side here as well. All right, so let's go back down the Sierra where snow is expected. We will see 1 to 2 feet of snow this week across the Sierra. Also watching snow across the higher terrain in Nevada, into the Wasatch, into the southern Rockies, into the higher mountains in Arizona here as well. So the forecast looks like this. I mean, this is Wednesday. We still have rain painted on the map. Rain for San Francisco, rain all the way down the San Joaquin Valley, all the way down into Southern California. This continues. And again, there's another system lined up behind this one. How can I forget about the weekend? This is how we don't forget about the weekend, right, Anna Rittis? This is how we start every Monday and every day as we get you to the weekend, and we are going to be looking for a busy week ahead. It's finally going to feel like winter. For a lot of you, it's your first day back to work after all the holidays. We are going to be looking for some chill in the air to start your week in the east, but then we warm back up again. One system after another, though, lined up in the west. You see how active it is out here. We've got 3 systems to come through this week. It's going to bring rain to California, mountain snow as well, and then we'll track by Friday all the mess getting into the Midwest and the Northeast. The weekend does look very busy with rain heading in.
Good morning. Just about 20 minutes past the hour on this Monday. It feels like a Monday for a lot of you out there. We're taking a live look at Cincinnati. This is the time of the morning that we check in on your travel and your commute. And Jen, what are the observations? Because we do have a forecast of light showers, snow showers in the area,
well,
right?
You know, you look at the radar, and we'll show you that in a minute. And there's snow out there. Not seeing much being reported at the airport. We had, about 20 minutes of light snow at the CVG there in Florence, Kentucky. So it's possible you might get a little bit of a light coating out there, but it doesn't look like it could amount to much. So far, so good here traffic-wise.
So let's take a look at the radar.
Cape, maybe Boston later this evening. We'll look at that. But let's talk about this cold shot that has come on in. You can really see when we look at the satellite picture what is going on. First of all, you see these brighter clouds out here streaming off the coast. And then behind it, you see the direction that these clouds are moving, coming in from north over here, moving in towards the south and east. So that's where our air is coming from. We're getting some cold Arctic air finally making its way down here into the Northeast, and we are feeling it this morning. It's not just about the temperature. The wind chill is a factor as well. All right, so let's take a closer view at what's happening here as we see the cold air filtering in. Temperatures about 10 to 20 degrees below average. Our record warm December is over. Our holiday vacation is over. It is back to work, and it is back to winter here in the east. So let's watch as this boundary comes through. Watch what happens today. Buffalo, 14 degrees right now. Saranac Lake, we're at 1. The front comes through, and you either stay the same temperature-wise or you even lose a few degrees today. This front moving all the way into the mid-Atlantic. You see DC 36, that's it for high temperature. New York 33, that's it. And with the wind, it's going to feel about 10 degrees colder out there if you're standing outside in the elements. Tomorrow morning, even colder, 11 degrees in Boston tomorrow morning. Continuing to see what happened and watch what is still happening with this river flooding across the Midwest. So 10 to 20 inches worth of rain in December. It was a record December when it came to rainfall, well above average. Departures of 5 to 8 inches above average in terms of rainfall, and that led to these record crests in many cases here on our rivers. Gauges along the Mississippi, gauges on the tributaries that led into the Mississippi, again running, if not, top 3 when it comes to record crests, which is significant because you often find those records in the spring or in the summer. Let's look at where we are right now. Cape Girardeau on Mississippi is finally coming down, but we're still up at record or at major flood stage. I'm going to stay that for the next couple of days. Stay right there. At Baton Rouge, interestingly, as we take a look at this one, we are seeing the water now come down the Mississippi, and we are just starting to go up into minor flood stage. We are going to watch for this trend going up at least for the next 6 days, and then we'll have to see beyond that. So our troubles, or our concerns anyway, have just begun further south. Anna Riddis, back to you.
All right, thanks, Jen.
Say it's not going to work, but if you're not doing anything, that's definitely not going to work. And by the way, the number one thing you can do when you're at the beach is not get a straw. Don't use straws, because that is the number one thing that they fly into the ocean, right? You're on the beach, you've got straws, the wind takes them. So if you're near the coastline, don't use straws. All right, let's talk more about the weather. Our coastline today going to be pretty wet here in the west. We've got rain up and down the eastern seaboard. Could be some snow in Seattle. System 1 of 3 to affect us this week on the west coast. Now in the east, our big story starts with a cold week. We got temperatures as cold as they've been in months, about 10 months for most spots there in the east. But then by Wednesday and certainly by Thursday, we're going to feel a little more warm. We're going to see temperatures running back up above average. Not quite as crazy warm as it was in December, but nonetheless warm enough that when our western systems evolve into the Midwest and into portions of the east, it turns into more rain than anything else. You can see rain in Chicago, rain in New York City, and by Saturday, there'll be some rain getting up into Boston as well. Now, there'll be some spots that do get snow, and we'll detail that here, fine-tune it with some snow into portions of the upper Midwest, Minnesota, into North Dakota, South Dakota. But by Sunday, our system in the east, you can see how mild it is. It is rain in New York City with a temperature of 50. Anna Riddis.
All right, thanks, Jen. Flooding in Missouri and Illinois impacting soybean and corn prices. That's in today's Farmers Forecast. Grain farmers monitoring the rainfall.